Hello.
Hello,
Welcome in. This is a Flosstube. I'm Rin,
I'm Derek.
and we're going to show off some of our cross stitch. So, welcome in to anybody who's new. Welcome back to people who have been here before. We do get a fair amount of new people from time to
Yeah, it's
time.
steadily growing.
Yeah, I think we're at 430 something.
Something.
I haven't looked. I try to not focus on the numbers too much because then I get all up in my head and I'm like, so I've tried to kind of step back from that a little bit.
We're enjoying ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I guess we should show some cross stitch.
Yeah.
Okay. First up, I have Many of the Possibilities Evolution Rainbow from Heaven and Earth Designs. And I actually finished the second page. So I'm pretty excited to have another page done. Let's move it this way so they can see what I did. So yeah, it's basically like from like this side of Glaceon over to Vaporeon. So I've got one more page and I'll be the width across the pattern. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Like a lot of people do the regular or the super size, and I was just like,
That would be too big.
they're too big for me. I know a lot of people like doing them. A lot of people do the super size one. I just could not.
You could maybe do that if you could just settle down with like one or two projects, but that's impossible. So we'll do the smaller ones.
Well, that's never going to happen. I'm on this path. This is my life now. It's fine. All right. That one's going to go away for a little while because I'm going to have a new full coverage one that I'm going to work on this month. And we're going to talk about that in plans and stuff. All right. Here is the Labyrinth Stitch Along from, I think this is from Wolfpack Creations. Yeah. So this is from a couple years ago. I'm still working on the frame. It's pretty big, but I got to 50%. So, you know, I've made some pretty good progress. It goes pretty quickly because it's all mostly like straight line stitching and stuff, but yeah, I like how it's looking on this fabric. I think it's gonna look pretty cool when I get done in, I don't know, 6 years or whatever.
We'll get there eventually.
Someday. Hey, I'm making more progress this year than I probably have in a while, so I think my new schedule of how to do things is going pretty well. All right, next up is the All Hallows Eve sampler from Joan Elliott. This one's nice because it's only 2 colors. It's mostly black with a little bit of orange. So I have the full width across now. It's just going to be really long. But yeah, you can see you get the alphabet in there. We get the black cats and jack-o'-lanterns and mice. And I love all these little spooky things on the alphabet. It makes it like really fun to stitch because you got like spiders and gravestones and pumpkins and things. So
yeah, it's fun.
It keeps it interesting rather than just being a straight alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge sampler person, but I thought this one was really fun with all the different motifs. And it goes fairly quickly once you kind of get into it. Because I think when I started working on this month, I just had like basically like this chunk here. That was it. So I made really good progress.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
There it goes.
Yeah, you can definitely see this is going to be like a really long project. It'll look kind of neat. Kind of fun when they're different shapes. Would you get in there? There we go. Okay, now we got to show off your whip, your Christmas card.
Finish?
No, we're doing whips right now.
Whips first.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a Christmas card that I've been working on. It's a little church. You can't really tell at this point.
You can kind of see the steeple.
You can kind of see, yeah. The little triangle part up there is the steeple.
Yeah. But you should have it done for next time, so it'll be able to see it. So the last one in that set. So that's for my parents. My mom's been liking those. So yeah, they're cute. Just I'm glad we're getting a little ahead on the cards this year. 'Cause usually it's like, oh no, it's like October. We need to do these.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. All right, so I had 2 finishes since my last video. First one is Cheers, a Mill Hill kit. It has so many fun little beads, and it's got this little snowflake at the top that is like so shiny. This is a really fun one to do, and I added some felt to the back of it and then glued on. They give you a magnet with it. I use these on the fridge, so I know some people turn them into ornaments, but I like having little seasonal magnets, so I thought this would be the perfect one for January. Got snowflake, got champagne.
Yeah.
All right, the other one I did is from Flossie Fox Shop. It's the Jackalopes and Lily of the Valley. That was her Patreon pattern in May. Look at them, they're so cute. I love them. I love this one so much. So I did have an idea for finishing this. I was talking to you about it, but I think I've changed my mind about that because I'm wondering / hoping if she's going to make this a series.
Okay.
Because this is Lily Valley is the like flower of the month for May, and then she put the little jackalopes in there, and I'm like, oh, like cryptids and flowers, like monthly cryptids and flowers would be really cool.
That
So
would be neat.
yeah, I'm hoping maybe she does some more of them. So I need to think up a different finishing method than what I was thinking of. That's more interchangeable. Unless I use that thing and put magnets on it.
That could maybe work.
So the thing I'm talking about, I've got this from Target. It basically stands up and has a little like board, and I was gonna like attach it to this. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. It would be kind of cute if you could do a seasonal thing that you changed out every month or whatever.
If you have any ideas, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. Because this is attached. Like if I wanted to, I could take it apart, but it would destroy it because it's like done in there with I'm not quite sure what those are, but I couldn't like it's not like just snapped on. Like I could take that thing off and make them more interchangeable. That's actually not a bad idea either. I'm gonna have to think about this. But I love picking up these sort of things at Target as just like random. Oh, I could finish that into something. Because it's kind of like just doing a pillow or in a hoop or a frame. Like those are fine, but sometimes you want to try to branch out and do something a little different, spicy.
And like, how many pillows do you need?
I mean, but our favorite, Snorlax.
Snorlax.
Oh, I love Snorlax. He's so soft.
I mean, it's more stuffed animal.
Yeah,
it's
a stuffed animal, not really a pillow.
Like your Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, the Gilmore Girls pillow. I love that one. All right, so Derek has a finish. Yay!
I do.
This is Summer Beach Day from the Frosted Pumpkin that you've seen for a couple videos. He finished it.
With all of the smiling things.
I know. It's so cute. The little smiling beach balls in the sun. And yeah, I think the variegated floss turned out really, really nice. Oh, I like the blue too, actually. It's a little more subtle.
So the variegated floss was a little tedious to stitch, but it turned out okay, I think.
Yeah, you did. I like your attention to detail.
You just have to be very careful with how you're actually stitching things, because I normally am fairly lazy. I'll just take a strand and fold it over and use that, but you can't really do that with
this. If you want to keep the colors distinct, you can't fold it, and then you have to be really conscious of like how you're stitching things.
So yeah, I had to like take off 2 individual strands and then like keep them together and make sure that they were like going the same way and kind of like alternate off of it so that the colors would kind of bleed from like the light to the dark and the dark to the light.
You wouldn't have this sudden.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
So if it was like a big block of the variegated, I don't know that it would necessarily look very good. But since it's more or less, you know, a continuous curved line in the lettering, I think it works out well.
Yeah, a lot of times people do. It ends up kind of stripy.
Hmm.
But then some people try to do it different. Like I've seen people go like around and come in, so it has like sort of a swirl, which would be
Yeah,
neat.
I tried to get some color on the wave, and I think I was successful there.
Yeah, it's a little more subtle on the wave because it's not as drastic of a change
Hmm.
as the paint color. But yeah, I think it's nice. I think it was worth getting because I've seen some people they'll get patterns and they're like, "Oh, this fancy floss is only like 3 stitches. Why would I bother?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fair."
That's fair. But yeah, my final verdict, I guess, the variegated floss, okay in moderation,
Yeah,
like most things.
there are 2 colors on there, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we're gonna show off some stuff. So I have some haul and some stitchy kindness. First off, oh, I should have ripped this open before I started. That's okay. I'm just gonna try to do it over here so you don't have to listen to ripping noises. So I'm in Adam Hart Cross Stitch. They're having a mystery floss drop club that you get sent a shipment every quarter. So this month, these really cool purple ones. So I get 2 different ones. So I got those, and then these other ones this month are like all sorts of different colors, but sparkly. So there's a red, there's green, orange.
Is the heart kind of like the standard shape?
No, they do square ones too, but I thought the hearts were fun. But I know the name, yes. But
Hmm.
a lot of their stuff is just like square floss drops, more like the other ones I have. But I kind of wanted to get the heart ones because I thought that was like a fun shape. It's different than the square ones I have. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have fun with that. If I'm gonna get the fancy floss. They also sent me this little pincushion ring and a really nice seam ripper. It's kind of full and handle. Most of the seam rippers I have are like little tiny stubby things. So, oh wait, it's a lighted seam ripper. It has a light in it. I didn't even notice that before.
So when would you use this?
Or like if you do a number of stitches and they're wrong and you want to like pull them out, sometimes it can be easier to use a seam ripper if it's just too much stuff. You gotta be really careful though because you don't want to make a hole in your fabric
Hmm.
because people have done that and that's not great. Okay, so this next thing is kind of the fault of the person that actually sent me the stitchy kindness. Yes, Michelle Chinook Crafter. I saw she had this booklet, and I tried to hunt it down on eBay, and I wasn't having any luck. So I set up a saved search, and then finally it came up. So it's Circle of Friends from Gloria and Pat, and it has all of the like cherished teddies and bashful bunnies and calico kittens and the mice and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, they're so cute.
And the cat staring into the abyss.
Yeah, so the bears just look kind of like they have no idea what's going on and they're just sort of there. The cats either look like totally ticked off or like they're just having an existential crisis. Like this one on the back. Like that's
Just something about the
the
like
eyes.
stitching grid around the eyes just makes them have these kind of like vacant
Yeah, he's
expressions.
just like the mice and the bunnies and the bears don't really do it's just the cats. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I find it hilarious.
Yeah, me too.
I find it funny.
Like fishing cat, I guess, is just having a midlife crisis or something. It's
Something
like
like that.
this is my life.
But Michelle actually sent me a couple of old booklets and a nice birthday card. So that was fun. So there's this I love miniatures. The only reason I wanted this is these workout bears. I love them.
Let me see.
They're so
Oh,
great with the
yeah,
little leg warmers.
I get it.
They're so good.
Yeah.
I've got some really bright floss that I got in an 80s box, and I was like, oh man, I so have to use that for these. Oh, I kicked the thing. Sorry. Those are great. And she sent me this one, A Cause for Celebrations. It's all these seasonal ones, but mostly I wanted it for the little witch with the pumpkins. Hug a Pumpkin Day. But the other
Pumpkin
ones are kind of cute too. There's like Thanksgiving and St. Patrick's Day and Easter and stuff. They're very like, let's see, what year did this come out? 1990. Yeah, that seems about
Day.
right.
I can tell.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing, I forgot to bring it in here, but I go to this crafting group here locally, and they're pretty much all like knitters and crocheters. But I take my cross stitch there, and I went in Friday, and the lady's like, "Oh, I have this like box full of stuff because there's a woman getting rid of stuff. I guess she couldn't really do it anymore, and it was just like a box full of cross stitch supplies, like a bag full of fabric, a huge Ziploc bag full of floss." And all these books. I even found one from 1981, the year of my birth. So I might have to do something with that one. But the floss, it looks like some of it is DMC, but then there's also
Like Sullivan.
Sullivan's and JP Coates, and then this like really old one. It was like the Star
Yeah.
Company, and Derek looked it up, and like the company hasn't even existed since 1985.
Yeah, the only thing I could find on Wikipedia was apparently that company had a building in New York
Hmm.
that's now a historic place and I think a condo building. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's pretty wild. But yeah, I gotta sort through all of that. If you, I know Sullivan still exists. They're an Australian company. JP Coates, I don't think does. If anybody was stitching back maybe in like the 80s or earlier, if you have some input on those, I've got just a huge Ziploc bag full of the stuff that I'm gonna have to go through. Or maybe some resources for sort of like conversions and everything. I have to keep it separate because the colors aren't going to match up, but I can maybe use it for some small projects. Might be fun to experiment with. I just hate to have this big bag of floss go to waste because it is in pretty good shape otherwise. Okay, so let's talk about plans. Okay, so I forgot to wait. I got my thing right here. Oh. Let me look at my totals for the month and see how fancy I am. So I did 26,664 stitches.
Impressive.
There's a little bit of the devil in there. And let's see how many projects. I worked on 11 different projects. I had 5 finishes, 4 starts. So, yeah, pretty good. Um, let's see. What was my I took a screenshot of my okay. I'm going to put a picture up here so you can see my monthly goals because I realized that the whiteboard didn't work very well with the ring light. So I'm just going to talk here about. So I finished Tinkerbell on the Polaroid Princess Sal, Artemis on my Sailor Moon project, flying lessons, Cheers, you just saw 3,200 stitches on Dona Stitch, my festive Umbreon. I recharted Belle and Jasmine. I finished Boo Bakery. Got to 25% on All Hallows Eve, 50% on the Labyrinth Sampler, and I finished a page on Evolutions. So, woo! And I finished the Jackalope thing, which wasn't even on my list. So, bonus.
Cool.
Yeah. So, my goals for this month, I'm going to be doing Aurora on the Polaroid Princess Sal and Mercury on my Sailor Moon project. I'm starting a new little series of cupcakes I got from this one designer. So I'm doing like one for each month. I've got an orange one this month. My next Chrono Cross project is Zoa. Of course, my usual amount of stitches on Dona Stitch. And 35% on the Cherished Teddy. I'm going to talk about that in a second. 25% on my April Hello Kitty. Finish a page on the Snow White Star Masayume one. I'm going to work on Power Up Plaza because I don't have a specific goal, but I'm just going to like work on it at the end of the month because it's huge. I got Festive Espeon, and I'm going to rechart Pocahontas and Esmeralda. So the bear I'm talking about, I got this book of Cherished Teddies Around the World. So cute. And I am going to work on the one from Ireland, Her name is Colleen, and she's super cute. And I'm really excited. I've got that one all ready to go. I think I've got to get a few flosses and put some fabric with it. But yeah, since I'm like descendant from many European countries, I thought it'd be fun to try to do some of the ones that are my background. Unfortunately, the only one for your background in here is Scottish. There's no Polish bear.
Yeah, it's fine.
Or Danish bear. I guess that's not too surprising. Denmark's kind of small.
A Viking bear.
Yeah, I didn't have that either.
Yeah.
They covered a fairly decent range. I do find it interesting there's a Welsh bear. They really covered the British Isles.
Yeah. It's like half that booklet, just about.
Well, yeah, they've got a separate like Scottish bear, and I mean, I guess Irish is a separate thing, but Scottish bear, Welsh bear, and then they also had like specific. They had an England one, and then they had just UK ones, like 3 of those.
Yeah.
They like him. They do. I think that's about it for the stitching content. So if you're just staying for that, then I hope we'll see you again next time. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've been watching, which isn't a whole lot because you were gone last weekend. We did finish Torchwood, which was the final season that they did, or the extra season that they did on Stars. I liked it more the first time I watched it, but Torch was always so depressing.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but incredibly grim.
Yeah, Torchwood is like depression Doctor Who.
Because like basically what happens is no one can die anymore, and
Yeah,
society just like
it doesn't
collapses.
it doesn't go well. It's not good. It's not good.
Interesting premise. Super morbid execution.
Yeah. And then last night we watched The Wicker Man, the original one from the 70s, not the Nicolas Cage ridiculousness, which I
Yeah.
do want to watch at some point though, because I do kind of want to see that.
Yeah,
But
I've never seen that version.
I haven't seen either of them either. I found it at Second and Charles, and I was like, oh, this will be cool. I should pick this up. Because I've been wanting to see it. I think it's streaming on Amazon or something, but of course our Amazon has changed over to have ads now, so it's kind of like. But yeah, that was a really wild movie for 1973.
Yeah, watching the older movies is kind of fun because like they went hard sometimes.
Yeah, this police officer. It's set in Scotland on a small island off the coast of Scotland, and I mean, if you haven't seen it, you don't want to be spoiled. I mean, it is 50 years old, so I think you might have missed the boat on that.
Yeah.
But he goes to this island to investigate, looking for a missing girl, and these people are just pagan as hell.
Extremely.
They're like banging in the streets. Like they're not hiding it at all. And this guy is getting really upset about it because he's very religious and just offends him intensely. And yeah, it's just it's crazy because I'm like, oh, there's some boobs again. They talk about how risque movies are now, and I'm like, this one was really going for it, man.
Yeah, there was like a orgy
information. There was an orgy, and not even in a house. It was just like
outside
in the town square or something. It was wild. And had Christopher Lee in it, which he was really good. Always enjoyed him. He's very like charismatic actor. So yeah, if you can watch that one, I think it's available on Amazon Prime. So if you are interested in an older horror movie, yeah, the ending scene.
Good.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was kind of messed up. Anyway, so that's what we've been watching, and I have gotten the 800th movie for my collection just recently. I meant to talk about it in my last video, but I forgot. I knew I was going to forget something, but it's called The Watcher in the Woods. So this is a Disney movie from the early 80s. Has Betty Davis in there. Yeah, Betty Davis. And I don't know anything about it. I will admit that right now. It's one of like 2 horror movies that Disney did back in the day. I mean, it's PG, so it's still, but it's like the only ones they've done under the Disney label is this one, and there's Something Wicked This Way Comes, which I also picked up because when this and the other one were only available on Blu-ray through the Disney Movie Club. They weren't selling them in stores. They're not streaming on Disney Plus. And so I was like, I can't resist.
And the movie club is dead now, isn't it?
Yes, it stopped taking orders on the 20th of May, and all accounts will be deleted in July. Yeah.
So basically, this was the only way that we could actually.
Well, I didn't actually get this through the movie club because they had sold out. I bought it on eBay, but I wanted to get it before the price skyrocketed because it will now, because there was literally no way to buy this or watch it because it is not streaming anywhere. And I mean, not a hugely popular movie, but if you really want to see it, like, eBay is going to be your only way to get it now. Unfortunately. Yeah, I wanted to pick this one up, but once they announced that the movie club was closing, this was gone. That's why I picked up the other one when I still could. I did get that one through the movie club. Yeah, Disney is not going to be manufacturing its own discs and stuff anymore. They're basically doing that out of house. They're having Sony do it now because it's cheaper for them to have another company that does that more predominantly, I guess. Because Sony doesn't have a streaming service, so they still do discs and stuff. Which I know a lot of people are like, oh, why would I buy a disc? I can stream everything. No, you can't.
You want all the discs.
I like to collect things that are really hard to get your hands on. That there are a lot of movies and a fair amount of shows that just don't exist on streaming. Some of them, unfortunately, don't exist on any physical media whatsoever. There was this one, it's called Small Wonders. It's like a random show from the 80s, and it's about this robot that looks like a girl, and it's like an 80s sitcom. Really random. And I was kind of curious, but of course it's not streaming anywhere. It's never been put out on DVD. So it's like, it's kind of like sad. It's just like, it's gone. You can't watch it. It's like not even possible. It's like, aw, that's a little sad. And I have no idea if it was good or not. I was too young. It was a very early 80s show. But, I mean, the premise sounds fun.
Yeah.
Little robot that probably has like sort of like 80s hijinks getting in trouble.
Probably.
If you have seen Small Wonders, drop me a comment. What was that show like? I'm curious. Yeah, so I try to like collect stuff. I watched this one show called Silver Spoons. I think a couple episodes here and there. Only the first season has ever come out on DVD, unfortunately, because I kind of looked that up and I was like, oh. So I've been collecting stuff because I know pretty soon they're just not even going to make stuff on disc anymore. It's just like, I mean, I get it, people aren't buying it, but it also kind of sucks.
We will.
I will. Be scouring eBay like I do.
Just hoarding our binders of DVDs.
Binders and binders. My current one I'm working on is Dark Shadows. Dear God, there's a lot of that. If you remember that show from back in the 70s, it was it started in the 60s. I think it started in 66 and went to just about like 70. It's only on 4 years, but it was a soap opera, so it was on like every day or every weekday. So there's 1,000 episodes. So I've been collecting the DVD sets, and there's like 30 something of them with 4 discs each. So that tells you how many episodes there are of that show.
Like, you have a big case just for that, right?
It's not one of the big ones, it's a small one, but still. Yeah. It holds exactly it will be exactly enough spots for that show. Down to like the sleeve, which I was pretty like surprised.
That is very satisfying.
I know, right? I'm like, oh, nice.
Perfect.
No, the big binders for Doctor Who. Which I'm slowly filling up as they release season sets of Doctor Who. There's 2 more. One just came out and another one is scheduled now. It's like, okay, come on. But I'm mad at Disney. Because the new Doctor Who is coming out on Disney Plus. So the specials came out like last November. They were released on like disc in the UK, I think days later. They still have not come out over here. I'm pretty sure Disney got some sort of agreement with BBC to like either not sell them at all, which is annoying, or put a huge delay on them coming out on disc. And that is really irritating because I've always bought Doctor Who, and now I'm annoyed that either A, I'm going to have to import it from the UK, or B, I'm going to have to wait maybe a year. I don't know. I love and hate streaming. Anyway, I think we've rambled on enough.
Yeah.
Make this video too long. It gets annoying to upload it. But yes, I'm wearing my Ninja Turtles t-shirt today. It's not actually old. It's just printed to look like faded. I picked this up, a couple months ago at JCPenney. Yeah. Yeah, I think we went to JCPenney's and all I bought was like this and a Hello Kitty t-shirt.
The Hello Kitty t-shirt was funny though.
Yeah, it ended up being a little too big because I didn't try it on, but I use it as a nighty shirt. But it's just like she's in cowboy garb and it says howdy. Yeah.
And it's very pink.
Oh, it's always pink.
It's a very amusing mashup of things.
It's aggressively pink. It's like gay Texas.
Probably, yeah.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe I should wear that in my next video.
Sure.
Okay, remind me. I've got to remember to wear the pink cowboy Hello Kitty t-shirt, to celebrate Pride. I should have worn one of my Pride shirts today, and I wasn't even thinking about it. Oh, well. Next time. All right. You have a good day or evening or whenever you're watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And I hope we'll see you in our next video. Bye.
Bye.